Oh, hi guys. My name is Kaylee. What's yours? Oh wow, that is an amazing name. Welcome to today's video. I have a riddle for you. You can't touch me or feel me, but open your eyes. With moisture and sunlight, you might see my surprise. What am I? Did you figure it out? I'm a rainbow. I enjoyed the sight of a beautiful rainbow the other day, but it left me with all kinds of questions. I'm glad you joined me for this video so I can tell you all the cool stuff that I learned. By definition, a rainbow is an arc or circle that exhibits in concentric bands the colors of the spectrum, and that is formed opposite the sun by the refraction and reflection of the sun's rays in raindrops, spray, or mist. Wait, what? That sounds super complicated. But here's the thing, it's actually really cool when you understand what it all means. Rainbows cannot be felt, touched, or examined. They're just a giant optical illusion or light trick. Check this out. Here is a regular, boring old pencil. Nothing special, nothing tricky. A nice, straight pencil. Now watch what happens when I place it in a glass of water. See how the pencil bends inside the glass? Then, when I remove it, the pencil is straight again. I put it back in, and it bends. We could keep doing this and going on all day long. So what's the deal? Do I have a magical pencil? Mystical water? Nope. This is an example of a light trick that will help us understand how rainbows are made. You probably guessed that my pencil wasn't actually bending. It just looked that way. But why? What is so special about my water that makes this illusion work? Well, it has to do with a couple of things. First, picture this. You decide you are going for a run outside. You start running down the sidewalk, but suddenly come across a patch of ice. What would happen? You would probably slip and slide in a different direction or at a different speed than when you were running on the sidewalk, right? Now, instead of a patch of ice, pretend that you are out running when you step knee deep into a giant puddle of thick, sticky peanut butter. That would definitely slow you down, right? The same thing happens to light rays. Light usually travels in straight lines that scientists call wavelengths. Just like you on your make-believe run, light wavelengths will change direction and speed when they travel through different materials. This change causes the light waves to bend and scatter, causing what we call refraction. When light waves bounce off an object, we call that reflection. The pencil and water trick is a great example of how light behaves when it changes speed or direction. You see the pencil in its normal state above the water. Light travels slower in water than it does in air, just like you would run slower in peanut butter than on the sidewalk. The wavelengths change speed and direction when they reach the water, causing the pencil to appear bent. And here is something really interesting. You know how light looks white when it shines? Believe it or not, that light is made up of all the colors that you can see with the human eye. These are called visible wavelengths and give color to the world around us. When wavelengths are traveling at the same speed, not passing through anything, the colors blend together to create white light. When those same wavelengths pass through a new medium, the light is refracted, which means that it's bent or scattered. Just like we talked about, refraction separates the wavelengths, allowing our eyes to enjoy the different colors. There are 7 visible wavelengths of color: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. A good way to remember these colors is to think of my good old buddy Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Those are 7 visible colors that are what make up a rainbow. But how is a rainbow actually formed? Well, you need 2 things: light and moisture. If the sun is shining while it's raining, or while there is moisture in the air, the light is refracted and reflected through the smooth, liquid water droplets. This is when we see the true colors of the sun wavelengths, better known as a rainbow. Every drop creates its own teeny tiny rainbow, but it takes millions of raindrops to form a large enough rainbow for us to see. Rainbows usually appear from the rain, but can happen anytime light is being bent and reflected inside of water droplets. You can see rainbows in mist, fog, spray, and dew. Have you ever noticed a small rainbow when you play outside in the sprinkler? Or maybe in the spray of a waterfall? These are common places to notice a rainbow, but only if you're standing between the sun and water droplets. In other words, while there needs to be moisture and light to form a rainbow, you will only be able to view that rainbow if your back is to the sun or the light source is behind you. In fact, the next time you see a rainbow in the sky, try to look directly at the center. You will notice that the sun is directly behind your head. Light reflects in the form of a circle, and the center of that circle is directly in line with the eyes of the person seeing it. That means no 2 people ever see the same rainbow in the exact same way. How cool is that? You might be thinking, if I see a rainbow differently than everyone else on the planet, why are the colors always the same and in the same order? I had the exact same question. It turns out that light has everything to do with those visible wavelengths that we talked about. Remember how once light enters a new medium like water, the wavelengths change direction and speed? Well, picture those wavelengths as squiggly lines. Red is the longest wavelength, made up of big, spread out squiggles. On the other hand, violet is the shortest wavelength, made up of smaller, shorter squiggles, just like this. As the wavelengths leave the water droplets, the longest wavelengths exit at the biggest angle, and the shorter wavelengths exit at the smallest angle. That is why we always see red at the top of a rainbow and violet at the bottom. Sometimes you might even see a double rainbow. This is when each water droplet reflects the light waves twice to form a second rainbow. The second rainbow is especially neat because it's inverted. It's kind of like the rainbow turned itself inside out, where the violet is now the top color and the red is on the bottom. So we learned all about how rainbows are formed. We learned how they can't be felt or touched. We've learned how light is refracted and reflected. But I know there's one more question you probably have. What about the pot of gold at the end of a rainbow? Well, you can search your whole life for the end of the rainbow, but you'll have a tough time finding it. Here is the coolest fact about all rainbows. When you are standing on land, you see the horizon, and this makes the rainbow appear in its traditional half-circle shape. The truth is, however, rainbows actually make a complete circle. You just can't see the other half because Earth is in the way. If you are ever lucky enough to be in an airplane when a rainbow is visible, you can see the entire circle. Wouldn't that be awesome? It looks just like this. We all know that a circle has no beginning and no end. So where will we find that pot of gold? I guess those leprechauns are pretty tricky after all. Well, I hope you had as much fun learning about rainbows as I did. Next time you are lucky enough to spot a rainbow, pay extra attention to what you see. Enjoy the fact that no one on Earth is enjoying the view in the exact same way you are. See you next time.
We are thrilled that you're watching Blue Studios 24/7. We're so excited to bring round-the-clock entertainment and educational content to your home. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with our latest videos. At Blue Studios, we aspire to revolutionize the way families spend time together. We empower families by providing them with tools to work together, earn and learn, and achieve new heights of success. Visit www.bluestudios.io to discover more about our mission and how we empower families to succeed. Thank you so much for being part of our community. Keep watching and learning with us. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.